Ryan Milano joined by Knight Uretsky. Welcome into Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena, California. We are here to see the Conejo Oaks as they travel to the Arroyo Seco Saints. In the field for Arroyo Seco as they will be on defense first. Connor Bradshaw, he's leading off and in dead center. Drew Cowley, the third baseman, is in the 2 spot. Peyton Lewis in right field, batting number 3. Josh Cowden, left fielder, in the 4 hole. Justin Torres, DHing, not playing in the field. Bo Willis, the catcher. Brandon Boning, playing short. Jackson Cobb at second, and Blake Marsh, he is the man at first. Your lineup for the Conejo Oaks. Leading off and in right field for the Oaks, number 11, T.J. Foreman. Zach Gregory, his second game as an Oak, he will remain in the 2 spot and remain in left field. Brendan Bobo continues that 3-hole power at first base. Grant Smith, the third baseman, he's in the 4-hole once again. Robert Capozzi, he's DHing it at the 5-hole. JT Naviak at shortstop. Reagan Burford at second base, batting 7th. Austin Carrillo, batting 8th in center field. Hunter Call is going to be on the bench for the first time of the season, at least to start out. He did sit to start one game, but this is the first time that we see Austin Carrillo in dead center. And Anson Rose, he's in the 9 spot. He is catching for the Oaks. Knight, we're here in Pasadena, California. TJ Foreman going to be our leadoff hitter. TJ Foreman, in yesterday's game, he singled once, was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and was gotten out at the plate 3 or 4 times, struck out once, flew out twice, and grounded out a second time. Saxon Andros, the pitcher on the mound for Arroyo Seco. First pitch into TJ Foreman. Fastball. Foreman cannot catch up. The count 0-1 early.
And right now, Andros, the pitcher, he goes to Cal State Los Angeles. He's going to have high velocity on that fastball. It goes about 89 to 93 miles per hour.
Second pitch into Foreman. Misses the zone for a ball. The count even at 1-1. Foreman on the season, batting .333, an on-base percentage of .440. He has 8 hits on the season. The 1-1. Elevated above the letters for a ball. The count 2-1 to Foreman.
It's been heavy fastballs so far to Foreman in this at-bat.
The 2-1 from Andros. Just misses the inside part of the plate. Also elevated. A ball, 3-1. 3 straight balls to TJ Foreman after he saw the first pitch go by for a strike. We have not seen Foreman lift the bat off of the shoulder. The 3-1 from Andros. Caught on and lifted, foul towards the right field side. The count is worked full. The first batter of the day, we see a full count. We saw a lot of full counts yesterday as the Oaks, they pulled off an 18-10 win over the Academy Barons. That game took a little over 4 hours. Our broadcast total, 4 hours and 20 minutes time.
Yeah, that was a long game, and a lot of that had to do with the amount of full counts we saw.
The 3-2, grounded to shortstop. Boning picks it up, throws on to first. It's in time to get Foreman. He is retired, the first out of the game, as a 6-3 makes way for Zach Gregory to head to the plate.
Gregory with the team now for the second day. Had his first game yesterday, had a solid performance, reaching base a couple of times, still searching for that first hit.
Saxon Andros attends Cal State Los Angeles. He's had 2 outings so far this season. He's pitched pretty well. He has a 1.92 ERA on the young CCL season. First pitch into Gregory. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count is 0-1.
And Andros right now showing that fastball a lot. He's pretty much a 3-pitch pitcher right now. Likes to throw the curve to the righties, and look out here, he likes to throw the changeup to lefties.
The 0-1 cut through and missed, changing speeds, as you mentioned. A changeup into Gregory that Gregory was out ahead of. The count 0-2. Andros in his 2 outings on the season. His first one against the San Diego Force, he pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 earned run on just 1 hit. Then he came through with a win in a 3 2/3 innings outing as the 0-2 to Gregory is elevated and outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. That was against the Crawdads in a 7-0 victory for Arroyo Seco. No earned runs allowed, just 4 hits on the outing and 2 strikeouts. The 1-2. Gregory sees a pitch in the zone. Strikeout looking for Zach Gregory. He sits down, still awaiting his first hit as the Oak.
And that was a heck of a pitch right there from Andros. So off to a hot start, only 10 pitches so far, and 2 batters set down. The stuff has had some heat, and he's been able to change speeds a little bit.
Saxon Andros, the pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints, now looking in at Brendan Bobo. Bobo has been swinging the bat incredibly well. If you've been watching any of the Oaks games, you absolutely know that. First pitch to him, just underneath the pitch, cuts through it, foul tipped off the catcher's mask, and out of play. The count 0-1. Bobo on the season, batting .545 batting average, 600 OPS, a slugging percentage 1.045, and an OPS of 1.645. The 0-1 to Bobo bounces in there, gets away from the catcher, but no runners on, so no harm done. The count 1-1.
And that first pitch to Bobo swung. I've seen it all season. He likes to swing at that first pitch and try to drive it as much as he can.
Bobo on the season, 3 home runs. One of them came yesterday, a 2-run shot in the second inning, alongside a single in the first and getting aboard with a walk in the third. Those were the 3 times that he reached base in yesterday's game. This pitch lined out to right field. Back is Lewis. He makes the catch. The inning is retired. 1, 2, 3 down for Saxon Andros, and the Oaks, they head to the dugout and will come out onto the field. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. The bottom of the first inning here in Pasadena, California at Jackie Robinson Field. The defensive alignment for the Oaks. On the mound at pitcher is Donovan Waitman. Behind the dish, Anson Rose. At first base, Brendan Bobo. Second base, we see Reagan Burford. JT Naviak at short and Grant Smith on the hot corner at third. In the outfield from right to left, we see TJ Foreman, Austin Carrillo in center, and Zach Gregory in left field. Waitman, his last performance came last Sunday against the Walnut Creek Crawdads. He's coming off of 4 days rest. This is the 5th day, so it is his throw day. In that outing, he gave up 2 earned runs over 3 innings pitched to Walnut Creek. He will face off against the 1-2-3 hitters of Connor Bradshaw, Drew Cowley, and Peyton Lewis for the Saints. First pitch into Bradshaw, line to center. Carrillo fighting off the sun. He can't track it. It gets away from him to the wall. Bradshaw in for a stand-up double. The leadoff batter is on for Arroyo Seco.
That was a first pitch hit right there to Bradshaw. Bradshaw had a very good game 2 days ago against the Riptide. That game he had a hit and 3 runs in that performance. Also had an RBI and 2 walks in that. Now he gets on with a leadoff double on the first pitch.
Now heading to the plate is Drew Cowley. He's the third baseman for Arroyo Seco. A runner on second base. First pitch into Cowley, misses the dish. Actually catches the plate. It's a strike. I stand corrected. The count 0-1. Cowley on the season, batting .389 over 18 at-bats. He has 7 hits, as well as 2 RBI. He sees a runner in scoring position right now. The 0-1. Flied into center. Carrillo fighting off the sun. Still fighting it. Tracking. Drops the ball in center. An error by Austin Carrillo. Cowley into second. Bradshaw holds up at third. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position to lead off the inning. 2 fly balls to center field that Austin Carrillo could not handle. It is a bright sun on a clear day. No clouds anywhere near the skies. So it is difficult to track the ball. I was shagging BP out there towards dead center, and a lot of the guys, they wanted to move to the corners because they wanted to make some catches. They could not track the ball in center field. We see that difficulty for Austin Carrillo right there.
And I saw Andrew Sharp, who's an outfielder slash catcher for the Oaks, and he was having a little bit of trouble fielding balls in center field as well.
First pitch into Peyton Lewis, cut through and missed. 0-1 is the count.
And Sharp was telling me that he was having a hard time. He thought the sun was going to be an issue today, and already 2 plays where the sun was an issue to start this inning for the Saints.
The 0-1 catches the outside part of the plate. Well-located pitch from Donovan Waitman. The count 0-2. Lewis quickly behind. Lewis on the season so far. He has been batting well. .238 on the year, 21 at-bats, 5 hits on the season, as well as 2 extra base hits, a home run, and a triple. The 0-2, low and inside for a ball. The count 1-2. Early on, we've seen this home plate umpire favoring that outside part of the plate. Well-executed pitches on the outside half will get called for strikes. The 1-2. Breaking ball fought off and found outside of the third base bag. The 1-2 will be done again to Lewis.
Lewis against Ventura County. He had 4 RBIs in that game. Has a chance here to add 2 more RBIs to his total. Currently has 8 RBIs for the season.
Naviak holding the runner close to second, so he is shaded towards that bag. Smith shaded a little bit towards third, a big hole, as Lewis flies one into shallow left field. Coming in is Gregory. He's underneath it, makes the catch. Bradshaw tagging. The throw to the plate. Gets away from a Rose after Bradshaw slides in safely. The runner at second and Cali, he's going to advance to third. And the Saints, they take a early 1-0 lead as the out sac fly by Peyton Lewis plates the first run.
It's the 9th RBI of the year for Peyton Lewis, the Texas State product. And already another runner at third, another chance for a fly ball to result in a sac fly for the Saints already.
This will bring up the 4-spot hitter, Josh Cowden. He is a left-hander out of BYU. First pitch to him. Too fast for him to catch up to. The count 0-1. Waitman ahead. Waitman's been ahead in a few counts so far. Got ahead to Lewis, got ahead to Cowley. Now early ahead to Cowden.
Saw a BYU product playing for the Foresters a couple of days ago.
The 0-2. In on the plate. The count. Now 0-2. The 0-1, excuse me. I was predicting that strike. Cowley on the season. .389 batting average. 7 hits, 6 runs scored. This pitch buried in the dirt. Dropped third strike. Arroyo throws over to first. Cowden does not beat out the throw. No shenanigans at third by Callie, so now 2 down on the strikeout, the first one for Waitman on the day.
And that was an impressive at bat. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, gets him to strike out. Great performance from Waitman after allowing 2 runners on in his first 2 batters.
Here in the bottom of the first inning, the Saints, they have struck first. They have another runner 90 feet from home for Justin Torres. Torres, the designated hitter in this game, batting .600 for the season, sees one grounded sharply to Bobo. He will field it himself, unassisted, ground out to first. So 1 run on just 1 hit, 1 error for the Oaks, and 1 runner left on base. We will head to the top of the second inning. Here you're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here in Pasadena, California, the Oaks, they trail 1-0 after we saw yesterday a 5-run first inning that saw 10 total batters. It's a very different story. The Oaks, they were sat down in 1-2-3 fashion just 24 hours later. Grant Smith, he will lead off for the Oaks. Smith batting .278 on the season. First pitch into Smith. Skied high and out of play. No fans in the stands where that ball was fouled off to, so no one in danger, also no one to make an athletic play. Smith yesterday, 2 doubles, 3 walks, reached base 5 times in his 6 plate appearances. The 0-1 to Grant Smith. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count 0-2.
And Andros, he had a great year in 2020 before his season was canceled because of the coronavirus. He was 2-2 with a .235 ERA prior to the season being canceled. Of course, this last season didn't have a year.
The 0-2, breaking ball, misses inside. The umpire looked like he thought about calling it a strike. He ended up not doing so. The count 1-2 to Grant Smith. The wind here at Jackie Robinson Field blowing hard out towards left field. Field dimensions 364 in dead center. The corners actually deeper. The 1-2 lined in the gap between shortstop and third base. A leadoff single to start the second inning for Grant Smith.
He said the corners were deeper. Actually, right field 345. So it's a lefty ballpark here with the left-handed hitters having that pull to right field. Right field, the shortest part or porch in this park.
We've seen a lot of lefty ballparks so far this season. George Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran, certainly a lefty ballpark. We saw yesterday the wind blowing out to left field at the MLB Youth Academy for the Academy Barons. And now again we see another short porch in left field. Now a lefty comes to the plate. It's Robert Capozzi. Capozzi on the season. He's been having one of the best seasons for the entirety of the Oaks. Second highest in batting average on the team. He's batting .500 for the season. The 6'8" man looks at a pitch, elevated and outside for a ball. The count 1-0.
And Capozzi, with his height, says he might intimidate other pitchers as he steps up to the plate. Does walk a lot. Maybe that is because of that intimidation because of that height.
Capozzi, 6 hits on 12 at-bats. He's had a lot of those hits in the last 2 games. As he sees the second pitch to him, bounced into the catcher, Willis. It's a ball. The count 2-0. Does not get away from Willis, so Smith, no opportunity to advance.
Smith has showed some speed as they throw back to him. Has tried to steal, I want to say, once or twice this season. But as they throw back to him, they're keeping an eye on him. Plays all over the infield. Today he's at third base, but not your traditional third base speed.
The 2-0 to Capozzi, cut through and missed. The count 2-1. Smith yesterday did have a stolen bag. That was on a first and third scenario, so not a straight up stolen base. He got in there without a throw yesterday. Pick off to Smith. He dives in safely without a tag. Marsh at first. Doesn't even look down at Smith. Doesn't even consider tagging. Boning at short. Hugging close to the second base bag. Big gap between third and shortstop. The 2-1 misses the zone. A ball, 3-1. Capozzi ahead in the count. Capozzi on the season, he's had 16 plate appearances. He's had 12 credited at-bats. He struck out 7 times on the season.
Also second on the team in walks with 4.
Someone that has filled up the stat sheet in many different departments, whether it be the strikeout, in the hit department, in the walk department. He's been doing it all sorts of ways. Smith, the pickoff at first. He gets back in safely. This time Marsh considered a tag. He tagged Smith, but not after Smith got that hand back into the bag. Andros back and ready. The 3-1 into Capozzi. Cut through, skied high, out of play behind home plate. The stands here at Jackie Robinson Field, made of stone, metal, flat bleachers. We see here in Pasadena the Rose Bowl, and now here Jackie Robinson Field. They like the old school auditorium type of stadium seats.
Yeah, the stadium was built in the early 1900s.
The 3-2 to Capozzi. Lifted high in the air to shallow center. Tracking in is Bradshaw. He gets a beat on it. He makes the catch. Smith trots back to first. Capozzi, after working the count full, not able to convert. He flies out. We saw Austin Carrillo fight off that son in the bottom half of the first inning. Right there, the ball from Capozzi hung up just a little too long as Bradshaw did not see it off the bat, but was able to get a beat on it as it hung up in the air.
And like I was saying, this ballpark was built in the early 1900s. Actually, both the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox used to use this ballpark as spring training back in the early 1930s.
JT Naviak steps to the dish, watches the first pitch, dive away from him. It's a ball, an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Naviak on the season, .263 batting average. He's had 5 hits on 19 at-bats. The 1-0 into Naviak. Cut through, fouled against the screen. The count, 1-1. Naviak yesterday got aboard with 2 walks. Also grounded out 4 times. Did steal 2 bags in the second inning. That's stolen bags. Those were credited off an error by the pitcher as he threw the ball away on a pickoff attempt. Naviak was able to go from first to third. The 1-1 into him. Skied high in, out of play down the right field line. Naviak behind, a 1-2 in the count.
Naviak on a little bit of a cold streak. Started the season really hot the last couple of games. Has cooled off a little bit, but still a dangerous hitter for the Oaks.
Andros looks in, the 1-2. Catches the outside part of the plate. The throw down to Smith. He's back in safely. Naviak, a strikeout looking, the second looking K that Saxon Andros has induced on the day. The Oaks, they now have 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Reagan Burford might have to check his hands. They might be burning after the hot start that he had yesterday, the hot play that he did. He hit for the cycle. I'm not sure if everyone caught that. If you were watching yesterday's game, you absolutely know. Reagan Burford, he didn't only hit for the cycle, he hit for the natural cycle. He hit the single in the first, then he hit a double in the third, a triple, and then a home run in the 8th inning, a 3-run shot. Excuse me, his double was in the 4th inning.
He also had a walk on the afternoon, which is, to me, even more impressive. He had the walk, the single, the double, the triple, and the home run. I mean, you had all of the elements to batting. It was just a phenomenal day for him.
First pitch into Burford. Above the letters, a ball. 1-0 the count. Burford on the season, he's batting .263. Before that cycle yesterday, he was batting .071. So the SEC man, he got his CCL season going just yesterday after a slow start in the first 4 games. The 0-1 lined into right center field. Smith rounding second. Tracking at the wall is Lewis. He's going to pick it up. Smith is going to go all the way around. Burford standing up with a double, an RBI double, as Grant Smith able to go all the way around the bases from first to third.
And Reagan Burford stays hot right there. It's the RBI double. And that one finds the gap to right center field. Burford gets to second. It looked like he might have missed the bag. It was looking towards third, then had to come back, stayed on second, but he drives in a run, and the Oaks tie it up at 1-1.
The reason he went back to second base is because third base coach held him up.
But he missed the bag.
That third base coach is Mark Fitzgerald. Austin Carrillo, the center fielder, steps into the dish. First pitch, he lines to center. Bradshaw underneath it, fighting off the sun, makes the catch. The inning is retired, but not after the Oaks get one back. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a single man left on base. This game is tied at 1 apiece as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Donovan Waitman back on the hill as we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. The bottom of the second inning, the Oaks, they tied it up in the top half. Now, Donovan Waitman trying to shut them down, keep it at a tie game. Bo Willis, the catcher and leadoff man, chops one outside of the bag at third to start off the inning. The count 0-1. Waitman, he got through the first inning with just 10 pitches. He did give up a run after an error by Austin Carrillo in center. Also, another double that was credited as Austin Carrillo couldn't locate the ball in the air. The 0-1 pitch at the knees and over the plate on the outside part of it. 0-2 the count. Waitman ahead early. Shakes once, looks in at Arroyo, the catcher. Nods his head, the 0-2. Breaking ball. Arroyo goes down to block it. It's out of the plate. The count 1-2.
And Arroyo got ahead to Peyton Lewis before allowing a ball. Lewis then hit a sac fly. Also got ahead to Cowden, 0-2.
You mean Donovan Waitman, as the 1-2 lined into center field. Carrillo coming in, makes the catch. That time he was able to track it against the sun. First out of the inning. In the top of the second inning, Bo Willis goes down. Brandon Boning comes to the plate.
And thanks, Ryan, for the correction. But similar to the bat to Lewis, starts out 0-2, then throws a ball, and then gets a pop out. This time, Willis flies out to center field.
Here we see Waitman looking into Brandon Boning. What we've seen in center field is the wind. It's swirling, slightly drifting towards left as the first pitch to Boning, skied high and out of play, out the back. The count 0-1. Carrillo playing dead center. Maybe shifted a little bit to the left of center. The 0-1 grounded outside third base, 0-2 the count. Waitman ahead early. As you mentioned, we saw him ahead early to Lewis, ahead early to Cowan, ahead early to Willis as well. Now he's ahead to Boning.
And Waitman's been throwing a lot of strikes. 2 hitters hit the ball on the first pitch. That was Justin Torres, the DH, and Connor Bradshaw, the leadoff man. He hit a leadoff double. But Waitman throwing a lot of first strike pitches, and now here again he finds himself ahead 0-2.
Brandon Boning goes and replaces his bat. Might have cracked it on that foul ball. The coaches in the dugout, they check, trying to make sure that hopefully the bat isn't cracked. Those are expensive. Waitman ahead in the count, 0-2, looking into his catcher, Rose. Shakes twice, nods once. The pitch, breaking ball, in the dirt, gets a swing. Strikeout for Donovan Waitman, his second of the day. He sits down Brandon Boning on 3 consecutive pitches, and now there's 2 down in the inning.
And that's similar to the at-bat to Josh Cowden. Got ahead in that one, struck him out on 3 pitches. Now his second K strikes Boning out on 3 pitches.
Jackson Cobb, second baseman. He comes to the plate, the left-hander. He's batting .227 on the season. Bounces the first pitch outside of first. 0-1 the count. Cobb, 5 hits on 22 at-bats, 6 runs scored. He has 4 RBI on the year as well, but he has struck out 7 times. The 0-1. Elevated fastball. Rose can't squeeze it. It catches the home plate umpire. A bit of oohs and ahs from the crowd. Cobb checking on the umpire, trying to make sure he's okay. Arose heads over to Waitman. Maybe Arose got crossed up there, a mixture in signs. Sometimes that can happen, especially on a pitch that was a little bit elevated. Maybe Arose just giving the home plate umpire a break. Nonetheless, we're back and ready to go as Arose trots back to the dish.
You could hear the umpire right there say, ooh, right after getting hit. Definitely a sight, but he seems okay. Got a lot of padding for a reason.
The 1-1. Breaking ball misses the plate. The count 2-1 now to Jackson Cobb.
Haven't seen Waitman here today get behind.
The 2-1. Low in the zone. Check swing from Cobb. Did he go? Third base umpire says he did not. Now we have seen Waitman get behind. The count is 3-1. Waitman has gone back to that fastball consistently when he's been needing to throw a strike. Normally he's used it early in the count. Here, gets the fastball, misses the dish. Walks Jackson Cobb, so the first runner of the second inning is aboard for the Saints. A 2-out runner on as Blake Marsh, the 9-hole hitter, is going to step into the left-handed batter's box.
And that was 4 straight balls from Waitman through a first pitch that Cobb fouled away, and then found 4 straight balls to walk Cobb.
Blake Marsh, 167 hitter on the year, just 3 hits to his name. First pitch into him. Catches the outside part of the plate. The umpire likes that call on the black. Strike 1. Runner at first. That's Jackson Cobb. Bobo holding him on. The 0-1 heads to the plate. Lined into center. Carrillo tracking, drifting into left center. Carrillo makes the squeeze in the gap. The inning is retired. A 4-batter inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a single man left on first base. The Oaks, they tie it up in the second. We head to the third on the Caneo Oaks live stream. The top of the third inning. Saxon Andros, he's allowed 1 through 2 innings of action. Anson Arroyo steps to the dish. Arroyo, a switch hitter on the season, facing off against a righty, now in the left-hander's batter's box. Cuts through, skies high, and out of play. The count, 0-1.
Arroyo's a switch hitter, like you said, but we've seen him a lot from that left-handed side. Seems like he's faced a lot more right-handed pitchers.
The 0-1 to Arroyo, miss it, actually in there for a strike. Count 0-2. Anson Arroyo, I talked to him before the game. He said he was a natural righty, but today, in batting practice, he was hitting the ball and seeing the ball better from that lefty box. The 0-2, flared into left field. Coming in is Cowden at the line. He's not going to get there. It drops inside. Arroyo, he's going around first hard, but stays at first with a leadoff single to start out the top of the third inning.
And Arroyo took that big lead around first because Cowden had a trouble with that ball off the bounce. Did corral it just in time. Arroyo heads back to first, and there he is with a single.
The lineup turns over. TJ Foreman steps to the dish. Last time up for Foreman. On a full count, he grounded hard to shortstop, but was put out in time. First pitch to Foreman, cut through and missed. The count, 0-1.
The last time up, TJ Foreman had the same first pitch. It was a fastball that was elevated. He swung under it. And again, Foreman there misses on the first pitch to him.
Foreman, we saw it in his last at-bat, not catch up. Pickoff attempt to Arroyo at first. He dives back in safely. We've seen Saxon Andros do that quite a bit so far in this game. The 0-1. Foreman cuts through, skies high, out of play, into the playground that is standing behind the stands. The stands, there's stairs up and then stairs back down. Once you go down those stairs, you will reach the bathrooms and a playground. I found that out pregame when, I needed to use the bathroom.
Lovely to hear, Ryan.
I did some exploring. The 0-2 to Foreman. Breaking ball in the dirt, bounces. 1-2 the count.
You a big explorer, Ryan?
I dabble in it. I'm a dabbler in exploring.
Yeah? Going to University of Oregon, it's made me a huge explorer. I love exploring Oregon. And even just anywhere. I love exploring anywhere. Even this park. I mean, you can find the Rose Bowl right down the street.
The 1-2, Foreman looks at a pitch that catches the outside part of the plate. It's a strikeout. The third looking strikeout that the Oaks have suffered on the day, the first out of the inning. And we are just across the street from the Rose Bowl here in Pasadena. Knight, tell me a little bit of some other interesting facts about this ballpark at Jackie Robinson Field.
Yeah, actually in 1933, the White Sox took up residence here after the Cubs owner William Wrigley bought Catalina Island, moved the Cubs spring ball team there, so the White Sox took over at this park. Actually here, there was a famous photo taken.
Zach Gregory looks at the first pitch that catches the plate. Strike, 0-1.
And that famous photo was when Marilyn Monroe had a photo shoot with White Sox players Gus Zernal, Joe Dobson, and Hank Majeski. It's the first time that Marilyn Monroe caught Yankee Clipper Jolton Joe DiMaggio.
The 0-1. Gregory, check swing in the dirt. He definitely went around to the count, 0-2. Gregory, his last time up, he struck out looking, now behind in the count. 2 strikes, no balls. 1 runner on first base and Anson Arose. Pick off over to Arose. Close at first, not in time. Arose dives in safely.
Stadium was named after Jackie Robinson in 1998. They named after him after he was from Pasadena, to John Muir High School. At the time, he went to Muir Tech.
The 0-2 misses high and away. A ball, 1-2 the count to Zach Gregory. Gregory on the season has not gotten aboard with a hit yet. He did get aboard in the last game 3 times, 2 walks and a hit by pitch in the first. The 1-2 bounces in for a ball. Arose gets a big lead but drifts back to first base. The ball got away from Willis, but Bo Willis kept it in front of him enough that Arose could not steal second base. Anson then trots back into first base a little hesitantly as he thought there might be a throw. Two and two count to Zach Gregory. Pitch inside at the knees, misses the zone. A ball. Gregory works the count full after going down 0-2.
And Gregory right here, you got to think maybe seeing something like an off-speed pitch, like a changeup. Seeing Andros.
Pick off at first. Arose, he's picked off, does not dive back. He's in a pickle. Arose trying to get back to the bag. He does. The throw gets away from the pitcher. Andros out of play. Arose warded second base as the ball trotted out of play. So Anson Arose got picked off of first. The tag not applied. He gets awarded second and third base as the ball goes out of play. So now a runner in scoring position and a full count for Zach Gregory on the mistake fielding by Saxon Andros and the poor throw by Boning at shortstop.
Yeah, and Arose right there, not back to first base. So when the ball went out of play, he was heading towards second base, and that's why they awarded him all the way to third.
He did dive back into first base. I believe you're awarded 2 extra bases as the ball goes into the dugout. The 3-2. Gregory looks at one above the letters. 4 straight balls from Saxon Andros after going ahead in the count 0-2. Now runners on the corners with 1 down for Brendan Bobo. Bobo, his last time up, flew out to right field. He does not have the benefit of the wind like he generally has in the Caneo Oaks ballpark or what he had yesterday at Academy. First pitch to him, cut through a little bit underneath it, a strike, the ball back against the screen. The count, 0-1.
And although he doesn't have the wind, he does have the short porch at 345 to right field. So consistently this season, he's pulled the ball. You'd see him pull it to right field and maybe hit another home run.
Double play depth through middle infielders. Bobo grounds one under the glove of Marsh at first. O'Rose is going to score. Gregory going first to third. Runners on the corners yet again. An RBI single for Brendan Bobo.
Now batting for the Oaks.
And Gregory right there got a great jump. You saw the speed of the infielder and outfielder. Today he's playing outfield with the Oaks. And right there gets a great jump, heads to third. And now runners at the corners. It's a great position for the Oaks still with 2 outs.
The Oaks, they take a 2-1 lead. Grant Smith heads to the plate. Smith was the first Oak in this game to get a single. He shot one just outside of the glove of third base in between the hole between third and short. First pitch to Smith, line to shortstop, throws back to first, and gets Bobo back in time. Bobo not able to trot back, did not slide back in, and the throw back from Boning was in time to get Brendan Bobo. So a double play. The Oaks, they just get one across on one hit with no errors and a single man left on after Brendan Bobo was doubled up to end the inning. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks, a product of KDTV. The bottom of the third inning sees the top of the Saints lineups. Connor Bradshaw, Drew Calley, Peyton Lewis. They all come to the plate. Bradshaw, his last time up. High fly to center field. Carrillo couldn't track it. He was credited with a double. Scored a run later in the inning. The first pitch to him. Outside for a ball. The count 1-0.
And it was a first pitch double to Bradshaw that for him to start the inning. And right now takes a ball to start.
The 1-0. Cut through, grounded, and foul. 1-1.
Waitman today hasn't thrown a lot of balls, mostly strikes throughout. Can only count 1, 2, 3 balls he's thrown. Excuse me, also walked a man, so 7 balls, but besides that, basically a lot of strikes.
The 1-1 misses the plate inside. The count 2-1 to Connor Bradshaw. The 2-1 lifted and out of play, foul to the left field side. We see Reagan Burford. He's shouting some words of encouragement to his pitcher. I believe, if I can identify their voices correctly, we also heard him yelling some words of encouragement to Zach Gregory at the dish as well. The 2-2 bounced outside of the first base bag. 2-2 will be done again.
And Waitman at Pierce College this past year, 8 appearances, 5 games started, a 3-2 record there, and also had a save.
The 2-2 curveball lifted and foul. 2-2 over again. Connor Bradshaw has seen 6 pitches in this at-bat.
This is the longest at bat of the game so far for Waitman.
Waitman trying to go to his out pitch. The 2-2 lifted high, back behind play. 7 pitches to the at-bat. Waitman, he brings a pitch arsenal of fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. 2-2. Breaking ball, check swing, just barely fouled off the barrel. The count, 2-2, still. 8th pitch of this at-bat incoming. Strong battle from Connor Bradshaw to stay alive. He was fooled on a breaking ball on that last pitch, was able to get the barrel, just get it on it, and put the ball behind the plate, out of play. The 8th pitch, fastball misses the zone on the outside corner of the plate. The Oaks, they thought it was a strong pitch. Good location, just a bit outside. Count has worked full. 9 pitches to the at-bat. Bradshaw about to see his 10th. The 3-2. Lifted in the air to center. Carrillo back, looking at the wall, at the track, looking up, and it's gone. Connor Bradshaw, a full count home run on a 10-pitch at-bat, and this game is tied up at 2 apiece.
And Bradshaw right there just kept on fouling off balls, looking for the best pitch he could hit. Found one and drove it right to center. You knew that it was going to be far. Carrillo went right back to the wall, was feeling for the wall, and eventually it was just too far, went right over his head, off the netting and back into play, but that still is a home run. And Bradshaw, another leadoff extra base hit, this time a home run.
Now the first pitch into Drew Cali, a ball elevated outside of the plate. The count, 1-0. What we saw there is a 3-2 count where Waitman then trying to throw a strike fastball right over the heart of the plate as the 1-0 is cut through and missed. The count 1-1. The elevated fastball, one that Connor Bradshaw was sitting on, and he drove it right back at Waitman, just a few feet above his head and into dead center. The 1-1, grounded to Naviak at short. He fields it cleanly, throws on to first, and Drew Cowley is retired, 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd.
That was an excellent play by Naviak right there. Fields it on a nice bounce, makes it look smooth and silky as he throws over to first. Excellent play from the Cal State Fullerton Titan, throwing it over to another Cal State Fullerton Titan in Brendan Bobo.
And apologies if the stream is laggy. We are dealing with our first road setup with no Ethernet, so we are working off of a mobile hotspot. It's the first pitch into Peyton Lewis, cut through and missed on a pitch in the dirt, the count 0-1. Not a mobile hotspot on our phone, definitely not. It is one that we purchased, one that should work well enough, but if it is lagging, we apologize. The 0-1. Breaking ball, off-speed pitch, above the letters for a ball. The count, 1-1.
That one just looked like it may have slipped out of Waitman's hand. Just didn't get the full pitch on that one.
The 1-1. Pitch in at the knees that is cut on and skied foul behind play. 1-2 is the count. Peyton Lewis, his last time up, a sacrifice fly to left field. We saw Gregory try to make the throw down the line. It was not in time. And now Lewis hit on the bounce. Fastball that gets away from Waitman. And now a runner on first base.
For the Saints, left fielder, number 27.
Josh Cowden steps to the dish. Cowden, in his last time up, he struck out swinging on just 3 pitches. Waitman had his number the last time up. Now we see the infield, at least the middle infield, a little bit in. Naviak shaded towards second base. We've seen for the most part this season Reagan Burford not change his position. That is typical. First pitch into Cowden. In there for a strike. The count 0-1.
And that's a great first pitch right there from Waitman, throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. Another one to Cowden, like you said, struck out on 3 pitches, already another strike to him.
Runner on first in Peyton Lewis. Cowden lifts one in the air to shallow center. Coming in is Carrillo. Now drifting back, settles underneath it, makes the play. Lewis heads back to first. 2 outs now in the inning as Cowden flies out to dead center.
Designated hitter, number 19, Justin Torres, number 19.
Justin Torres, the designated hitter. He comes to the box for the second time today. The last time up, he ended the first inning with a ground out to first base. Brendan Bobo fielded the ball and touched the bag, unassisted. First pitch. Catches the knees into Torres. The count 0-1. Waitman getting back to where he's comfortable, ahead in the count early.
And Waitman's first time on the mound this season, he was similar, throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. He's been dominant.
The next pitch misses zone, 1-1. A Rose throws down, not in time to get Peyton Lewis, who is on the first base bag.
And that was a great throw from a Rose right there. Got it on the lower left side of Bobo, right at his mitt, close to the bag. It was a close play to Lewis.
The 1-1. Cut through and miss. The count 1-2. Waitman now trying to go and get another strikeout. He has 2 already on the day. A swinging strikeout to Josh Cowden in the first. A swinging strikeout to Brendan Boning in the second. And now up 1-2 in the count to Justin Torres. Breaking pitch. Lined to shortstop. Naviak makes the squeeze. The inning is retired. 1 run on a single hit. No errors, and 1 man left on base. The Oaks, this game is tied, and we head to the 4th inning. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome back. The top of the 4th inning. Ryan Milano joined by Knight Uretsky. Knight Uretsky take over play-by-play duties.
Thank you, Ryan. And the first pitch to Robert Capozzi is high for a ball. Misses, and it's now 1-0 to Capozzi. Saxon Andros working still as he throws to Capozzi. That one misses again. It's now 2-0 to Capozzi. Andros now up to 49 pitches so far through 3 innings. And these 2 pitches to Capozzi. He fires, and Capozzi takes another one. This one's high. Capozzi goes up 3-0.
Capozzi, he saw a 3-ball count and went up 3-0 his last time up at the plate, but the count was worked back full by Andros, and Capozzi flew out to center field.
As the 4th pitch to Capozzi is high again, so 4 straight balls to Capozzi, and he walks, and the leadoff man is on for the Oaks.
JT Naviak, number 3.
Now coming to the plate is JT Naviak. Struck out looking in his first time up. That was on 4 pitches as he stands in for the 2nd time this afternoon. Game is tied 2-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. The first pitch to Naviak is in there for a strike. Falls behind now 0-1. Naviak showed a possible bunt right there. Pulled up at the last second. Still was called for a strike. Runner on first with Capozzi. Andros the pitch, and Naviak fouls this one away. It's now 0-2.
Naviak in his last at-bat, he sat down on pitches. He struck out looking. Now a 2-strike count again to him.
And the pitch from Andros is outside for a ball, so Naviak survives this at bat without going down looking. Still, 1-2 the count. Andros, the man on the mound. He's set. And the pitch. Naviak rips this one to right field. That's going to get down. Capozzi stops at second. So now 2 runners are on for the Oaks. And coming up is Reagan Burford. And man, his bat is hotter than anybody else's on the Oaks team right now.
Yesterday he hit for the cycle. Today he has a double in the gap. Reagan Burford, one of the men with an RBI today. He drove in Grant Smith in the second inning. Smith went first to third. Now he has a runner in scoring position and 2 runners on.
Burford going to be at Ole Miss in the fall after transferring from Northwest Florida State. He stands in, and Burford shows bunt, misses, and he takes a strike, 0-1.
Right there, Reagan Burford trying to advance the runner, and I understand the calls on if you get 2 runners in scoring position with 1 down. It's a great spot for Anson Rose, but the way that Burford's been swinging the bat, I'm not sure if I want to give up a strike with a bunt.
Burford showing bunt once again. This time comes high and inside. Burford falls on his back. The umpire called safe, so it's going to be a ball, but man, that was a scary play.
Right there, Andros, he knows how hot Reagan Burford's been swinging the bat. He wants to brush him back, make him think at the plate. Reagan Burford, I'm sure he's not looking down the line wanting another bunt call.
One almost got him on the face. Dove back and landed on his back. Still nobody out, 2 runners on. The 1-1 pitch, and Burford lines this one to the first baseman. He taps on the bag. Marsh, what a play. And 2 are gone with the runner on second now for the Oaks.
And Capozzi had to dive back into second. It was almost a triple play by Marsh at first. And right there, if you're Naviak, there's nothing you can do. And there's nothing you can do if you're Reagan Burford. A hard hit ball, opposite way. Typically, if you do that, you have a chance to score a run, the runner all the way from first, especially with the speed of Naviak. Capozzi, it's almost a given if that ball gets into the outfield. But Naviak, with the strong jumps trying to score first to third, ends up getting doubled up off the bag.
Now up to the plate is Austin Carrillo, the center fielder. Flew out in his first at-bat on the first pitch. Has a chance to drive in a runner here with Capozzi on second. The first pitch to Carrillo is in the dirt for a ball. He gets ahead now, 1-0. Carrillo, the center fielder, had a couple of times with a little bit of trouble fielding the ball in center field in the first inning. His fielding has squared away as the sun continues to set here in Pasadena. Has a chance to make up for one of those errors as the pitch to him is in there for a strike. Counts even at 1-1. Tie ball game here in the top of the 4th inning. 2-2 the score. The Oaks took a 2-1 lead in the 3rd. Then in the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Saints hit a home run. That was Connor Bradshaw, as now Carrillo fouls this one away. And he gets behind now 1-2. Bradshaw with the leadoff home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That tied the game at 2. We're still there.
And this game tied up at 2 apiece. It's 2 teams that are very evenly matched in CCL play, and we've seen that through the common opponents that we've seen from these 2 teams throughout the season. We've seen these 2 teams play 2 similar teams. We saw Ventura County appear against both these teams and Walnut Creek. Both these teams have wins against all of them.
As Carrillo grounds this one to the first baseman, Marsh goes off him. The second baseman picks it up, throws over to first, and Carrillo is safe. Cobb tried to throw it over to first. The pitcher was there, but he wasn't on the bag.
Your attention, please.
So Carrillo gets on with an error.
Number 7, Anson Arroyo.
And Capozzi heads over to third. So now runners on the corner with 2 out. And Anson Arroyo coming up to the plate. His first time up, he hit a single.
Arroyo's trying to employ a good piece of 2-out hitting. We saw him lead off in the third, trying in the fourth to drive a run home, get the leading run, the go-ahead run across for the Oaks.
As the first pitch to Arroyo is outside for a ball. It's now 1-0. So far, a hit in the inning by JT Naviak. He was then out on a line drive from Reagan Burford. That was a double play ball. As the second pitch to Arroyo is in there for a strike. That one catches the outside part of the plate. It's now even at 1-1. Capozzi, who led off with a 4-pitch walk, he finds himself on third right now. And Carrillo, who reached on air, he's at first. 2 away, runners on the corner. The pitch to Arroyo, that one's inside for a ball. It's 2-1.
And right here, it's the longest that we've seen a pitcher face up against the Oaks, or for the Oaks, for that matter. We've seen Saxon Andros. He's up above 65 pitches on the day.
As Arroyo rips this one to left field, that's going to bring in a run, and the Oaks take the lead. It's 3-2.
And that's a great piece of 2-out hitting for Anson Arroyo. He doesn't try to do too much in the lefty's batter's box, just sees the large hole between second and third, slaps it the opposite way. It's how he got his single in the third inning. It's how he gets his RBI single here in the fourth.
2-out hitting for the Oaks paying off. Saw a 2-out double from Reagan Burford in the second inning. The Oaks score here with 2 outs from an RBI single from Anson Arroyo. Now up to the plate is TJ Foreman. It's third time up here in the fourth inning now. Carrillo's at second on the play from Arroyo, in there for a strike. Takes it. It's now 0-1.
Foreman got behind in the count in his last at-bat. Got a full count in his first at-bat, so he's seen 2 strikes a lot so far today.
Andros, the pitcher. He's set. The 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. It's now even at 1-1. Foreman coming into the game. He's batting .300 prior to the start of this game. He's now 0 for 2 in this one. Consistently one of the Oaks' better hitters. The 1-1 pitch as Foreman grounds this one towards the shortstop. Boning, he throws over to first, and he makes the play, beats out Foreman, and the inning is over. So 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Oaks are leading 3-2. You're listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the fourth inning, the Oaks are leading 3-2 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Coming up to the plate is Bo Willis for the Saints. As Waitman still on the mound fires, and the first pitch to Willis is fouled away. It's the 50th pitch of the game for Donovan Waitman. Another first pitch strike for the right-hander out of Pierce College. As Waitman fires, and that one's fouled away once again. He gets ahead now 0-2 to Willis. Willis, the catcher, flew out to center field his first time up. That was a 4-pitch at bat in the second inning. He's up for the second time today. Waitman, he's set. And the pitch is fouled away. That one almost caught by Arroyo, goes off of his mask and to the backstop. The bat's going to continue. The fourth pitch coming up to Bo Willis.
And Waitman, he's been living early in counts, living ahead of counts early here. We've seen him in 2-strike counts consecutively throughout the entirety of this beginning part of the game.
As Willis fouls away another one, that's going to continue. 5-pitch at bat to Bo Willis coming up. Willis, his best performance coming up against the Walnut Creek Crawdads on June 17th. He had a 3-for-2 performance in that game. Also scored a run and a strikeout as he grounds this one past Naviak, and he's on with a leadoff single for the Saints. That one to center field, and the catcher gets on for the shortstop now, Brandon Boning.
Boning struck out his last time up. Another one of those at-bats that Donovan Waitman got ahead in early. He was up 0-2 and then struck out Boning, swinging on a pitch in the dirt.
Waitman, 5 pitches now, pitching in the 4th inning for him as he's set. And the first pitch to Boning is in the dirt for a ball. Waitman gets behind for probably once or twice, or the second time this afternoon. Seen a lot of first pitch strikes, not a lot of first pitch balls.
Waitman, he's faced up against 15 batters so far. He's seen 8 2-strike counts.
As Boning pops this one up, Burford and Naviak in the area. Naviak makes the play, and Boning is retired. So a fly out for Boning to Naviak. And now coming up is the second baseman, Jackson Cobb.
Number 1.
Cobb almost made a nice play on a grounder that got off the mitt of the first baseman, Marsh. Popped up, the second baseman, Cobb, caught it, tried to throw to first, but Carrillo beat the throw, and he was reached on an error. That later led to Anson Arroyo's RBI single, as Arroyo was up right after Carrillo. As the first pitch now to Cobb is in there for a strike, another first pitch strike for Donovan Waitman.
Cobb, he was the first batter that Waitman got by last time up. He walked on 5 pitches.
As Waitman delivers that one in the dirt for a ball. That at bat was a first pitch strike to Cobb. Cobb fouled that one away. Then he saw 4 straight balls that resulted in the 5-pitch walk. Still, though, it's even, 1-1, 1 out, runner on first. 3-2 the score as Waitman, an off-speed pitch. That one misses the zone, and he falls behind 2-1. Jackson Cobb coming into the game, 227 batting average, but he's 500 in CCL play. As the 2-1 pitch is fouled away by Cobb, counts even at 2-2. Cobb mentioned that 500 batting percentage in league play. That came 2 days ago against the OC Riptide, the Orange County Riptide that is, as he had a 2-for-4 performance with 2 RBIs and 2 runs, also had a walk in that game. The 2-2 pitch, and Cobb rips a single to right field. Going to second, and now to third is Willis. He's going to get there safely. The throw is cut off by Naviak. They throw back to first, but Jackson Cobb, a single for the Saints, and now they're going to have runners at the corners with only one away.
Marsh, number 5.
And Donovan Waitman right here, he has an opportunity with a runner on first base and a jam with a runner 90 feet from home to try to get out of the inning. Blake Marsh's last time up, he flew out to center field to end the second inning. This time it will not be the same fate. If a fly out to center field happens, it will score a run. So the middle infield, they're looking for a double play.
The first pitch to Marsh is in there for a strike. Waitman gets ahead now 0-1.
And it's key for Donovan Waitman to get ahead in this count. When you're working from ahead with runners in scoring position, you can mess around in the batter's box or mess around on the mound, throw pitches that try to induce swings for strikes.
As Waitman fires, and that one's in the dirt for a ball. It's now even at 1-1.
And I would like that pitch 0-2. I don't like that pitch 0-1. Right here, you want to get ahead in the count, especially with 2 strikes. Force Blake Marsh to try to protect the plate and not be trying to drive the ball into the outfield.
1 out, runners on the corner. The pitch from Waitman finds the outside corner. That one's in there for a strike. It's now 1-2. Blake Marsh hasn't had a hit since the second game of the season. He's gone 4 straight games without a hit. One, two, the count. Runners on the corner. Runners going to second. Arroyo fires over. And now the runner's going to come home. Arroyo, the play at the plate. He's out! What a play from JT Naviak. Comes over, fields the ball instead of going for the runner at second that was already there safely as Cobb went to second. Went back to Arroyo at the plate, and Willis is caught stealing, trying to go home. And now 2 are gone with a runner on second. And Marsh still at the plate with a 1-2 count.
And it's a great play by Arroyo and a great play by Naviak. The arm strength from Anson Arroyo and the wherewithal and arm strength from Naviak to be able to get that play to happen. Tremendous.
As Marsh grounds this to Burford, the second baseman, throw over to Bobo at first. The play is made. So, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We head to the top of the 5th inning. The Oaks are leading 3-2. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back for the top of the 5th inning. The Oaks are leading 3-2. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano here with you this afternoon. Beautiful day in Pasadena, California. New pitcher on the mound for the Saints. That's Tommy Hannon. He's the right-hander out of San Marino, California, goes to UC Berkeley. Up to the plate, number 41, Zach Gregory, the Arkansas Razorback, as the first pitch to him is high for a ball. Misses the zone. It's 1-0. Gregory, his last time up, he walked and made it to third base before being left stranded. Struck out in the first inning. Now up for the third time in this afternoon. The second pitch to Gregory misses the zone again. That one elevated. And it's now 2-0 to Gregory. Tommy Hannon so far this season has pitched in 3 innings and has 6 strikeouts. Has only allowed 1 hit.
Definitely someone who, in a tight game for the Saints, you want in pitching, trying to shut down the Oaks for the last few innings of this ball game to keep them at bay to try to let the Saints come back in it.
First 3 pitches to Gregory missed the zone. It's 3-0 to the left fielder. Gregory, an infielder and outfielder listed on the roster, as the 3-0 pitch is high, and 4 straight pitches to Gregory walks the leadoff man. And Hannon, not a great start for him.
And that's the first walk of the season for Tommy Hannon.
Brendan Bobo.
Now coming up to the plate is the first baseman, Brendan Bobo. Had an RBI single in his last at-bat. That was in the 3rd inning. That drove home Anson Arroyo. Now has a runner on first. He's had a couple of 2-run shots this season. Has a chance for another 2-run shot here. Hannon fires, and Bobo showed bunt, pulled up. The ball gets behind the catcher, Willis, and over to second is Gregory. It's a passed ball. Now a runner in scoring position for Brendan Bobo with a 1-0 count.
And Gregory, throughout this short season that he's had with the Oaks, has shown that he knows his way around the base paths. He knows how to go from first to third. He knows how to identify pitches that are going to miss the zone and get behind catchers. That one, he had a strong jump after Willis got the ball, let it go past him.
As the pitch is swung on and missed by Bobo, the first strike of the game for Tommy Hannon.
And for Gregory there, he took a big round at second base. He was thinking that he could possibly go first to third on a pass ball behind the catcher.
Hannon fires. That one misses zone, gets behind Willis again. Gregory over to third, takes a round, and now he's coming home. Gregory's coming home. He slides. He's in there safely, and the Oaks extend the lead. It's 4-2.
And that is heads-up base running. I told you that he knew his way around the base paths right there. I saw him take the big round at third. Tommy Hannon, he was thinking about something else because he does not like the way that he started out this performance, the way he's been throwing balls, the way that his catcher has let 2 balls go back to the backstop. That time he did not hustle to the plate. Zach Gregory did. He was able to beat it out.
The 2-1 pitch to Bobo misses the zone high, and now it's a 3-1 count to Bobo. So besides Bobo swinging and missing on 1 pitch, it's been 7 balls from Hannon.
And that is the first earned run of the season for Tommy Hannon.
Hannon fires, and Bobo fouls this one away, and the count is full at 3-2. Bobo this season, the best hitter for the Oaks coming into this game, batting .545. He's now 1 for 2 in this afternoon, so still hanging around that 500 batting level. Also has a on-base percentage of 1.6. As Bobo swings and misses, he strikes out. And Tommy Hannon with his 7th K of the season, and Bobo set down.
15, Grant Smith.
Coming up now is Grant Smith, the third baseman. Had a single in the second to lead off. He came around to score. He was the Oaks' first run of the game as they tied the Saints at 1. As the first pitch to Smith is in there for a strike. It's 0-1 to Smith. Smith, his last time up, lined into a double play. That was a 6-3 double play. Got Brendan Bobo out at first as he takes a ball now. It's even at 1-1. Smith, a young man at Incarnate Word University, that is in San Antonio. Originally from New Mexico, he is. As the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed by Smith. He now falls behind. It's 1-2. Smith won a state championship in baseball in high school. That was in New Mexico. Now he finds himself here in Pasadena playing with the Conejo Oaks as the pitch from Hannon's in the dirt for a ball. It's now even at 2-2. Grant Smith playing at third base today. We've seen him at shortstop and second base throughout the season. Really just wherever they want him. He's a solid infielder, and he's held the cleanup spot for the last couple of games. The 2-2 pitch to him is in there, and Smith strikes out looking.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Hannon after he lets Gregory basically walk all the way around the base paths just by himself. He bounces back, gets 2 straight strikeouts, a strong response from Tommy Hannon.
8 strikeouts on the year for Hannon in 3 2/3 innings pitch. Up to the plate now is Robert Capozzi, the DH. As the first pitch to Capozzi is a ball in the dirt. Capozzi gets ahead now, 1-0. Capozzi's last time up, he walked. That started the 4th inning, last inning. He later came around to score. As the second pitch to Capozzi's in there for a strike. It's even at 1-1. Capozzi, his first time up, did fly out to the center fielder. That was a full count. Started 3-0 and then fell behind as Capozzi takes another strike. It's now 1-2 to Capozzi. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The 1-2 pitch, and Capozzi strikes out swinging. So that'll do it for the 5th inning. 1 run on no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Oaks are leading 4-2. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher for the Oaks. That is number 20, Brandon Madrigal. As the first pitch now to the leadoff hitter, Connor Bradshaw, is away for a ball. Madrigal falls behind 1-0. Madrigal wastes no time. The windup, the pitch, and that one misses outside. Madrigal's first time pitching, walked the bases loaded, and then walked in a go-ahead run to Walnut Creek. Now finds the mound for the second time this season. The windup, the pitch. This one's fouled away by Bradshaw. Bradshaw today, 2 for 2. Had a home run in the 3rd inning. That tied the game at 2. And then in the 1st inning had a leadoff double and came around to score. So Bradshaw, both the 2 runs for the Saints. As Madrigal misses again, it's now 3-1.
Donovan Waitman's final line, 4 innings pitched, just 4 hits, 1 walk, so only 5 6 base runners allowed because he did hit a man, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts.
As Bradshaw grounds this to the shortstop Naviak over to first, the play is made, and Bradshaw's retired for the first time this afternoon. It's the 6-3 play on 4 pitches, and now coming up to the plate is number 21, the third baseman Drew Cowley.
And already a much better start for Madrigal than what we saw from him in the last outing for him. He walked around a few batters in a row in his last outing, ended up giving up a big inning to Walnut Creek the last time he saw the mound. This time, he located pitches and was able to get the first runner out.
As the first pitch to Cowley is low for a ball, it's 1-0 now to Cowley. Cowley today, he's reached once. That was on an error. He had a ball to the center fielder as the second pitch to him is lifted to left field. Going back is Gregory. He gets down. Heading to second is Cowley, and he's going to get on with a double here in the 5th inning with 1 away.
And apologies for a lot of the stream issues that we've been having throughout this game. We believe that we have fixed them. It took a lot of trial and error, but I think that we've gotten our stream completely figured out. And please let us know if the stream drops to a level that is sub-satisfactory.
So now runner on second, 1 away for Peyton Lewis, the right fielder. Madrigal on the mound for the Oaks. Cowley on second, 1 away as the first pitch to Lewis is fouled towards the Oaks dugout. It's 0-1 to Lewis.
And the key right now for Madrigal is after having a start to the season in his first outing that he'll tell you himself was not to his liking, and after giving up an extra base hit on the second batter he's faced, it's about not being afraid to go right back into that strike zone, not being afraid to throw strikes and force the batters to trust the defense.
The 0-1 pitch, and Lewis lifts this one to center field. Carrillo going back. He makes the play, tagging is Cowley. He's over to third. And so now with 2 outs, there's a runner on third. Still a 4-2 game. And coming up now is Justin Torres, the DH.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Brandon Madrigal right there. You go right back into the zone against Peyton Lewis. You get one at the knees, force him to golf one into deep center field. Yes, the runner advanced from second to third, but it isn't out in the inning, and now you're just 1 out away from getting out of the inning. A runner on second with 1 down is almost more dangerous than a runner at third with 2 down because of the fact that a single scores him either way.
As the first pitch to Torres misses for a ball. Torres this season batting .600 prior to this game. Today, he's 0 for 2, a line out to the shortstop and a ground out to the first baseman, Bobo. He lifts one to right field. That's going to get down. That's going to be extra bases and more. Heading to second is Cowden. And Cowden now with a double.
Designated hitter, number 19, Justin Torres.
Now coming up is the DH, Justin Torres, excuse me. Torres played yesterday against the San Luis Obispo Blues, had a 2 for 4 performance, had a double and a run in that game, also struck out twice. 4-3 the score now as Cowley came in on the RBI double from Josh Cowden. Madrigal fires, and that one's in there for a strike, catches the outside corner. It's now 0-1 to Torres. Madrigal steps off the mound and back on. Torres has hit a home run this season. That was against the Palm Springs team. That was a game they lost 11-2. As Torres swings and misses on this one, he goes behind now 0-2. Two outs still. Tying run on second base. Josh Cowden, the man on second, delivered the RBI double in the last plate appearance as Madrigal fires in this one, fouled away by Torres. The at-bat's going to continue. So far in this inning, it's been the 13th pitch. That was the 13th pitch from Madrigal, the 14th pitch coming up.
And right here for Madrigal, this is the first time we've seen him ahead in the count in really a big spot this entire season. Now with the runner in scoring position and just a 1-run lead.
As Madrigal, and that one's fouled away by Torres. The bat's going to continue the 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Torres.
And I'm excited to see where he goes with his out pitches. We've seen 2 consecutive fastballs to try to get out.
On base, we head to the top of the 6th inning. The Oaks are leading 4-3. You're listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream, brought to you by KDTV. Back for the top of the 6th inning, the Oaks are leading 4-3. TJ Foreman at the plate as the first pitch, JT Naviak at the plate as the first pitch to him is fouled away. Now, where I got Foreman there?
Well, JT Naviak and TJ Foreman, it's just a switch of the first name.
You're right, that's probably it. Either way, Naviak fouls this one away. He goes down 0-1 as now he hits one to the shortstop. That's going to get down for an infield single. The shortstop Boning fielded it, went off his glove and into the outfield. But nevertheless, an infield single from JT Naviak to lead off. And Naviak's been on board twice now. His last at-bat, he had a single and another single here.
And it was a strong job by Boning to keep it inside of the infield. He dove and stopped it. It squeaked under his glove, so it leaked out a little bit into the outfield, but holding Naviak at first, that ball probably still would have only been a single if it would have rolled to the left fielder, but a strong job to keep it on the infield. Don't allow any tomfoolery to happen on the infield or on the base paths.
So one runner on for Reagan Burford, and this time he does bunt, showed bunt earlier, trying to beat the throw, does not, or no, he does. They're going to say the first baseman Marsh was off the bag.
And he absolutely was off the bag. Marsh, he lifted his back foot up. The umpire had a great view of it. He saw it perfectly. I thought that maybe he didn't have the angle on it because I did see the first baseman in Marsh lift his back heel off of the bag. Burford, he gets aboard with a single. You know, he hit the cycle yesterday, and I'm not going to say it, but he is halfway there.
It's a double and a single today for Reagan Burford. Deadline into a double play in his last at-bat, but this time redeems himself with a bunt single. As now Carrillo's going to bunt. This time he bumps it up the first base line. Marsh over to the pitcher, and Carrillo beats the throw. And now the bases are loaded for the Oaks. Back-to-back bunt singles for the Conejo Oaks.
And back-to-back times where the Saints fielder at first base just didn't put their foot on the bag. The pitcher, he had his foot on the bag and then took it off on that last play. And then the first baseman, one bunt to go, took his back heel off the bag. The Saints, they put that back heel down. There'd be 2 outs in the inning, and it would be a much low-pressure situation. But now Anson Arroyo, after an RBI in his last at-bat, steps to the dish.
as Arroyo takes the first pitch for a ball. Arroyo, 2 singles in the afternoon, 2 for 2. Had an RBI in his last at bat, and his first time he had a single and he came around to score. As he faces with the bases loaded, as Arroyo lifts this one high in the air. Coming in is the left fielder Cowden. He makes the play. That one's too shallow for anyone to advance. And now one is gone with the bases loaded, and Tommy Hannon still on the mound.
And that's a crucial out for Anson Arroyo right there. What you have to do in that situation is make contact and put it on the ground any way possible. Now, a double play ball is in action, although TJ Foreman is at the plate, and I don't know if TJ's getting the back end of any double up.
And TJ Foreman is at the plate this time, not to be confused with JT Naviak, who I mistaken him for in the first batter of this inning. But now TJ Foreman is at the plate. So far today, 0 for 3 as he swings and misses on the first pitch. Saw him swing and miss on the first pitch a couple of times today already as he goes behind 0-1. Still, though, bases loaded after 3 straight singles to start from Naviak, Burford, and Carrillo. The second pitch to Foreman is low for a ball. It's even at 1-1.
And this is a very different outing for Tommy Hannon. We've seen him throughout the season be dominant in CCL play. Now we see him. He gave up a run in his first inning. Now the base is loaded with just 1 down.
Foreman's going to call times. And now is going to step back into the box. Coming into the game, Foreman was batting .300 today, 0 for 3. Consistently one of the Oaks' better hitters and a speedster on the base paths. But he stands in with the bases loaded. Hannon, the pitch. And Foreman fouls this one away. It's now 1-2.
And right now the sun's setting behind the camera, so there's a little bit of a silhouette action. Turn up the brightness on your screen if you can to better see the ball game.
Not sure if that'll help, but, you know, do you the best you can.
In the next 15 minutes, the sun should set, and the picture should be back and completely clear.
The 1-2 pitch to Foreman as he grounds this to the second baseman, Cobb. He throws over to the second, and the double play is made. So Tommy Hannon gets out of a no-out bases-loaded jam, and the Oaks score 0. So no runs on 3 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks lead 4-3. You're listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back for the bottom of the 6th inning, the Conejo Oaks are leading 4-3. New pitcher on the mound, it's Evan Gray, the right-hander out of Arkansas, as the first pitch now is in the dirt. Bo Willis, the catcher, up to the plate. Final line from Brandon Madrigal, 1 innings pitched, 5 batters faced, 1 strikeout, 2 hits, and 1 earned run, as Willis rips this one foul down the right field line. The bat's going to continue at 1-1. Willis today reached on his last time on a single. He was then thrown out at the plate as Jackson Cobb stole second base. Naviak made the play at shortstop, then threw it home, got Willis out at the plate as the 1-1 pitch is fouled away. And the bat will continue. It's 1-2. Willis, his first time up, though, did fly out to center field, so 1 for 2 on the afternoon for the catcher. Gray wastes no time. The windup, the pitch, and Willis grounds this to Naviak. The shortstop throw over to first. The play is made. That is a 6-3 play on 4 pitches, and Willis is retired.
We've seen a few times today Naviak be tested. That time, a slow chopper. He had to charge field and throw onto first, and all one motion was able to do it and beat out Willis by a couple of steps. Made it look easy.
Now coming up to the plate is Brandon Boning, as he stands in to face Evan Gray. Gray, the windup, the pitch, and Boning fouls this one away. He falls behind 0-1. Boning, his first time up, he struck out on 3 pitches. His last time up, 2 pitch at bat, which he flew out to the shortstop. Gray, the windup, the pitch, and that one's in the dirt, and got him on a check swing. Boning now down 0-2.
And the home plate umpire called that himself. He saw it very clearly.
0-2 count, the windup, the pitch, and Gray gets a little bit too inside and high on that one. He goes now 1-2. Boning, the young man out of Simi Valley, California, actually where I'm staying while with the Oaks, right next to Thousand Oaks, as the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed from Boning. So Boning goes down swinging on 4 pitches, and 8 pitches so far for Gray, and 2 outs.
And this is why you bring Evan Gray into pitch. I talked to pitching coach Scott Rudinsky, and he said, I love guys like Evan Gray, guys that are just not afraid to throw strikes, not afraid to go right into the zone, and right here in a big spot, you go to one of your most trusted arms, Evan Gray. He's gotten 2 very quick and easy outs.
The first pitch now to Jackson Cobb, misses outside for a ball. Gray gets behind now 1-0. Cobb, his last time up, he hit a single, then stole second base. But his first time up, walked. So a 1-for-1 performance right now from Jackson Cobb as he swings and misses on this pitch. It's now even at 1-1.
And I shouldn't say that the first 2 outs are easy. I should say that he made them look easy with the way that he has commanded the strike zone early.
Jackson Cobb at Texas Tech University, 5'11", 170-pound sophomore, as now Gray steps off the mound and steps back on as he's ready to face. It's an SEC versus Big 12 matchup. The windup, the pitch, and Gray misses outside and low. He falls behind now 2-1 to Cobb. Cobb originally from Texarkana, Texas. Seen a guy from Texarkana, Arkansas on this team too, as a swing and a miss counts even at 2-2.
Evan Gray, his third 2-strike count in his 3 batters that he's faced. He got out with a strikeout his last time. He induced a ground out his first time.
As the 2-2 pitch is fouled away by Cobb, that's drifting towards left field, heading over to Smith and just out of play. Can't really see down there behind the Saints dugout, but it was a lot closer than I made it call. Still, though, out of play, and it's foul. The at-bat's going to continue with a 2-2 count.
Well, the field dimensions are such where the dugouts are on the line, and then there is a big jut out on both the right and left field sides.
The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and Cobb's going to live to see another pitch as the count is full now at 3-2.
You see down in that sort of jut out section the protrusion. You see the bullpens. You see a few batting cages is where the Oaks warmed up their arms.
Full count now. The payoff pitch, and Gray misses high. Going to want that one back as Cobb now walks. And coming up to the plate is the 9-hole hitter, Blake Marsh, the first baseman.
Blake Marsh, number 5.
Evan Gray now. That was a 7-pitch at bat. Up to 15 pitches now on the inning as Marsh stands in. Cobb on first, 2 away. Oaks lead 4-3 as the pitch from Gray is outside. That one pulled him a little too much. It looked like his hat almost came off.
And he's left a few pitches on that high and outside part of the plate. He walked the man on that pitch, and he starts off this at-bat to Marsh on that pitch. A little bit more follow-through, identify the spot, identify the glove, play throw and catch with your catcher.
Gray nods, and the pitch is swung on and missed from Marsh. It's now even at 1-2. Or excuse me, 1-1.
And that's exactly what you get back to right there if you're Evan Gray. Right there, still a fastball, still elevated, forcing Marsh to try to catch up to it. A little bit closer to the zone, forcing him to swing and miss.
Marsh 0 for 2 today. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, misses, and now it is 2-1. Marsh flew out to the center fielder in the second inning and then grounded out to the second baseman to end the fourth inning. Stands in for the third time today with a runner on first. 2 outs, 1-run game. Bottom of the sixth inning. Evan Gray, the pitch is fouled away by Marsh, and the count is even at 2-2.
Right there, it's a pitch that Evan Gray did not get a swing and a miss on, one of the few that he hasn't gotten a swing and a miss on this inning. But he located the knees in the low part of the zone, forced Marsh to protect. It was too close to look at. And right there, now it's even. Evan Gray can go back to a fastball elevated, or he can try to mess around with the breaking ball.
2-2 count as Marsh looks and waits as Gray fires over to first. Cobb is in there safely. Still a 2-2 count. Blake Marsh, currently undecided, was at Wichita State, originally from Coppell, Texas, but he's undecided. 2-2 count as Gray fires back to first. Cobb in there safely, and Marsh still waiting another pitch. Marsh still searching for his first hit in the last 5 games. Gray nods. The pitch is low for a ball, and it's a full count to Blake Marsh.
And Gray wanted that one. It was right where the location of the pitch was intended by Anson Rose. It was on the inside half of the plate, right at the knees of Marsh, just right below the kneecaps.
So a full count now with a runner on first. Jackson Cobb had a full count. He walked. And now a full count to Blake Marsh. The payoff pitch is high and away. The same pitch that Jackson Cobb walked on, Blake Marsh walks on. So back-to-back walks for Evan Gray. And now there's 2 runners on. And the best hitter of the game so far for the Saints coming up in Connor Bradshaw.
And for Evan Gray, he has had 2 strike counts to all 4 batters that he's faced. He just has not been able to get the last 2 out. Threw too many balls early in the count. It's key for him, especially to a hitter like Bradshaw, the way he's been swinging the bat. Get ahead in the count.
The first pitch to Bradshaw is in there for a strike, catches the outside corner, and Gray gets ahead now 0-1. Bradshaw's last time out, grounded out to the shortstop Naviak, but prior to that, he had a solo shot to start the bottom of the third inning, and had a leadoff double in the bottom of the first inning. He came around to score. He was responsible for 2 of the 3 runs for the Saints as Bradshaw swings and misses on a ball in the dirt. Gray got him fooled.
And that is a fantastic pitch from Evan Gray. The way that he's able to ramp up the velocity, live high in the zone with his fastball, and then come in with a breaking ball that just dies right at the start of the plate, inducing a swing and a miss. That's going to happen and fool most hitters.
Gray has walked 2 runners on and is 1 strike away from getting away from the jam. The pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt. Arose makes the tag, And the inning is over. So no runs on no hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. The Oaks lead 4-3. We head to the top of the 7th inning. And you're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 7th inning, Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here today. And Ryan, take it back over play-by-play.
We see a pitching change on the mound. John Chomko, he is going to be the man on the hill, the right-hand pitcher out of Tomball, Texas, and Texas San Antonio University. He's facing off against Zach Gregory. Gregory, he has walked twice in this game. In the 5th inning, he walked, stole second, and then got all the way home from second base on a passed ball. First pitch into Gregory, misses the zone.
And the
count 1-0.
And the Oaks right now searching for some more runs. They had the bases loaded with nobody out last inning and didn't score a single run. So right now the Oaks looking to add more to their lead as they are only up by 1.
The 1-0. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count 1-1. Tommy Hannon, the man that Chomko replaces. Hannon's final line, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and that 1 earned run to Gregory in the 5th inning. The 1-1 count. Elevated and off the plate for a ball, the count 2-1. Chomko, he has been phenomenal all season long. He's appeared in 3 games, 4 total innings for him, has not allowed a run to cross the plate yet. The 2-1. Elevated, outside, another ball. Same location as the 1-1 pitch, and now Gregory is ahead 3-1 in the count.
A lot of fastballs early from Chomko. But like you said, he's missing high. It seems like the fastball's been running on him, and he's releasing a little bit too early.
The 3-1. Catches the zone at the knees for a strike. The count worked full. Chomko, in his 4 appearances, he pitched 1 inning against Palm Springs, 2 innings against the Ventura Pirates. That was a 6-1 victory for the Saints. And then in a 1-inning performance, pitched against the San Diego Force. He's allowed just 1 hit on the season. The full count to Gregory. Lifted in the air to right. Drifting back is Lewis. At the track, looking up, takes a step in, and what looked like it was hard contact and had a chance to go off the bat is just too high, hangs up in the air, and is caught by the right fielder.
Brendan Bobo.
Gregory retired on the full count. Brendan Bobo stepped to the dish.
And that was a great at bat by Gregory. Besides the ending of that, but it was a 6-pitch at bat. It was a full count to start against a new pitcher. Like to see him working a full count, but not liking him seeing flying out to right.
Brendan Bobo, so far today, an RBI single in the third. He had an RBI as Gregory scored in the fifth, but struck out in that at-bat. First pitch to him, misses the zone. The count, 1-0. Bobo ahead early.
Bobo was up at the plate when Gregory did come in, so I believe 2 RBIs today for Brendan Bobo.
The 1-0. Swung through and missed Brendan Bobo. Now even the count 1-1. And I did credit him with that RBI, so 2 RBIs on the day. Brendan Bobo continues to rack up RBIs on the season. So far this season, Brendan Bobo, 12 RBIs if you include today's performance. The 1-1, cut through and missed.
And Bobo right now falls behind 1-2. His last time up, he did strike out swinging. Trying not to strike out for the second time in a row.
The 1-2, fouled off and against the screen. Brendan Bobo stays alive. The pitch by Chomko, located on the outside part of the plate. Bobo trying to fight off and battle. We saw Brendan Bobo battling against Academy yesterday. He had a few 2-strike counts that he was able to get a board on. He had a home run yesterday on a 2-strike count. But this time he strikes out, ball in the dirt. He's running to first, the throw in time. Brendan Bobo, his second strikeout of the day, and there's 2 down in the inning early as John Chomko has sat down both Gregory and now Brendan Bobo.
And back-to-back Ks for Bobo. Gotta think he's going through a lot right now. I mean, a lot of times this season he's been so successful. I mean, one of the best hitters in the CCL to start. But back-to-back Ks for him. Got to be holding his head a little bit lower today.
Grant Smith, the 4-hole hitter in the box, looks at a pitch elevated. It gets Willis out of his stance. The count 1-0, Grant Smith. So far today, he struck out looking in the fifth. Lined into a double play in the third, but he did single in his first at-bat in the second inning. The 1-0, fouled hard straight back against the screen. The count even at 1-1. That second inning, leadoff single, ended up in him coming around the bases. It was the first run of the day for the Oaks. And that is the difference. Every run in this game is the difference, as it is a 4-3 ball game here in the 7th inning. The 1-1. Cut through and miss. Center cut fastball. Grant Smith cannot catch up. Now he's behind in the count. 1-2.
Chomko, coming out of high school, is the 1,197th best right-handed pitcher.
The 1-2 to Smith. Lifted in the air to right center field. Back is Lewis. Looking up. Makes the squeeze. The inning is retired. 1-2-3 inning for John Chomko. We head to the bottom of the 7th. the bottom of the 7th inning, Evan Gray still on the hill for the Oaks after sitting down 3 of the 5 batters he faced last inning. He now heads against Drew Cowley. Cowley in his last at-bat doubled and scored a run, the last run that we've seen in this ballgame. The first pitch he looks at for a strike. The count 0-1. The 0-1 misses the zone on the outside. 1-1 is the count. Evan Gray in the last inning got 2 quick outs, a ground ball to shortstop, a strikeout on 4 pitches, then 2 consecutive full count walks as this pitch is lined into left center field. Carrillo and Gregory makes the squeeze. Gregory the one to get there in left center. A line drive hit. Cowley did not get enough on it to drive it into the gap. Gregory able to cut it off, and the first out of the inning is upon us.
That was a great first batter face from Evan Gray right there. Gets ahead in a 1-2 count, then forces a fly out. He's been doing pretty good so far, besides the last 2 walks in the last inning. But besides that, no hits allowed.
He closed off that last inning with a strikeout. Misses the zone here to Peyton Lewis. Just off the plate for a ball. The count 1-0. The 1-0 in at the knees for a strike. Evan Gray has been getting some strikes at the low part of the zone. He's been elevating that fastball when he wants batters to chase, and he's been mixing in a breaking ball. All have been working very well to start this game. The 1-1 lifted high and behind home plate. 1-2 is the count. Evan Gray, a 2-strike count again. The last batter was the first time that Gray did not see a 2-strike count today. The 5 batters last inning all faced 2 strikes. Right here, Lewis, he sees 2 strikes again. This one, low, below the knees for a ball, 2-2. Evan Gray with 25 pitches so far in his outing. There is no wind, if anything, a slight breeze, but in no direction. The 2-2, breaking ball in the zone for a strikeout. Evan Gray, his 3rd strikeout of the day.
That was a beautifully placed pitch by Gray right there. Gets the inside corner. It was a breaking ball. And, you know, Lewis right there just absolutely fooled, sent down, and the first 2 batters are retired for Gray. It's a great start to this inning, but last inning we saw the first 2 batters retired, and then we saw back-to-back walks.
Josh Cowden, he's the man to step into the box. The first pitch from Gray, above Anson Rose's glove, above the head of Cowden, gets a Rose out of his stance. He cannot corral it. It goes back to the backstop, but no runners on, so no one advances. The count, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch cut through, missed. 1-1. Big hack from Josh Cowden. He was not able to catch up to it. Evan Gray bringing a fastball that touches 90 miles per hour. Tops out around the mid-90s. This one bounced in the dirt. A ball. The count 2-1. One of the few times that Evan Gray has allowed more balls than he has before he's gotten to a 2-strike count. He's even in the count now with 2-1, or slightly behind. The count could go either way here. The 2-1. Elevated on the infield. Smith underneath it at third base. Tracking, makes the squeeze. The inning is over. 1-2-3 for Evan Gray. He gets a strikeout, but does not let anyone on base. As the Oaks, they get through 7. They still hold a 1-run lead. It's 4-3. To the 8th we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on KDTV. The top of the 8th inning, the Oaks are clinging to a 4-3 lead. It's been 4-3 since the 5th inning. 2 straight scoreless frames for both teams. Now Robert Capozzi trying to break the scoreless tie as he leads it off for the Oaks. Capozzi so far today struck out, flied out, has reached base on a walk, and was one of the 4 runs scored for the Oaks in this game. The first pitch he sees in at the knees for a strike. Rob sees the pitch go by him. He's now looking at an 0-1 count. Infield standard, outfield standard, straight up all the way through. The 0-1. In at the knees for a strike. Capozzi now down in the count. 0-2. He struck out swinging on a 3-pitch count in the 5th inning. Excuse me, a 4-pitch count in the 5th inning. Here he sees the 0-2, elevated, misses the zone, 1-2.
And Chomko right now, he's been dominant, gets ahead right now 1-2, but the last inning, a 1-2-3 inning for him, and he's yet to allow a run all season for the Saints.
The 1-2-2 Capozzi. He thinks about offering, it's in the dirt. The dugout encouraging him, they like that take. It was a strong take as the ball hit the dirt before the catcher's glove. The count now even at 2-2.
And Capozzi right here, you got to look for a fastball. That's been Chomko's best pitch so far.
The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Actually, they're going to say that Willis made the squeeze. Capozzi started to trot down first base. It did not matter. Capozzi struck out for the 2nd time today, and that makes way for JT Naviak. Naviak has reached base twice with 2 singles in the 4th and the 6th. He struck out looking in the 2nd. First pitch to Naviak. Bounced right back to the screen. I would have got that if the chain link wasn't here, but I'm glad it is. It's protecting us.
I was a little bit of anxiety for me. You know, the camera right here on this chain link fence, we're holding it up by tape.
Well,
And,
I'm not scared about a weak grounder to the screen.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm scared about a hard hit line drive right back to us as the 0-1 misses the zone. A ball, the count 1-1.
I don't know. I mean, anything that comes towards this fence gives me a little bit of anxiety, but a lot of tape holding this up. And, you know, so far, this camera, it's held up.
The 1-1. Swung on and fouled back against the screen. Naviak now down in the count 1-2. Viewers, I'm not scared about this at all because we tested this before the game, and I stood pretty close, about 10 feet away from the screen, and threw baseballs about as hard as I could right into the camera. And, you know, the camera stood the weather test. So, you know, I'm trusting the work that we've put in before the game to prepare this camera. As the 1-2 waved at by Naviak, his 2nd strikeout of the day, the 2nd consecutive strikeout for Chomko, and now there's 2 down in the inning for Reagan Burford. Burford, his last time up, reached base on a bunt single in which the first baseman did not have his foot on the bag. Earlier in this game, an RBI double in the 2nd. But he did line into a double play to first base in the 4th. Chomko, 3 strikeouts so far and 5 batters faced. First pitch to Burford, misses the zone, low and away. A ball, 1 ball, no strikes. The sun has set here at Jackie Robinson Field. The picture now more clear on your screen. The 1-0 off-speed pitch in the zone right into the catcher's mitt, right where the location wanted it for Willis. The count 1-1.
And you know, the sunset here today in Pasadena was beautiful. Hoped the sun or the field would be in the other direction where the sun was setting.
The 1-1 catches the zone right into the catcher's mitt. Once again, we see John Chomko locating his pitches, just pumping the strike zone with strikes. Now, Burford behind 1-2.
But yeah, really hoping for one of those Rose Bowl type sunsets.
The 1-2 just above the letters for a ball. That one missed the spot. The count 2-2. Burford has worked the count back, even trying to work himself aboard with 2 strikes here. We've seen good pieces of two strikes hitting throughout the entirety of this game for the Oaks, in particular Anson Arroyo in the fourth, as the 2-2 bounce foul past the first base bag. Arroyo in the fourth, two outs with one strike on him, and a runner in scoring position. He shot one the other way, was able to score a run in the fourth. The 2-2, Burford inside. He works the count full. He thought about offering the pitch. Two inside. He was forced to shield back at the plate, step out of the box, protect himself, and the count is full.
Had another pitch inside earlier in the game where he showed bunt that he had to protect himself. Also, he had to dive on his back on that play.
The 3-2. Low and away, a ball. Reagan Burford sees three straight balls after going down 1-2 in the count, and now he sees himself on first base as Austin Carrillo steps into the box.
That was a great at-bat from Burford. Like you said, he battled off, fouled a couple of pitches, and finds himself on first base with two outs. We've seen throughout the season the Oaks have a lot of great two-out hitting. They even had a couple of RBIs today with two outs.
Austin Carrillo so far on the day has singled. He reached on an error in the fourth inning and in the second inning flew out to center field. A runner on first in Burford. Carrillo looks at a pitch in the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count. Carrillo on the season, a .300 batting average headed into today. He's hovering right around that average on the day. He would love for another hit, especially one in the gap to score Burford from first. Add a little bit of insurance runs to Evan Gray, and whoever Scott Radinsky is going to trot out of the bullpen to start in the bottom of the eighth inning. Pickoff attempt from Chomko. Burford dives back in safely at first. Chomko checks the runner. Looks to the plate. The 0-1. Elevated above the letters. 1-1 is the count. Austin Carrillo. So far today, he singled on the first pitch that he saw. He's seen a variety of counts. He's been swinging early in counts. If he gets a pitch he likes, he's attacking it. Had a two-strike count once, and that's where the error occurred in the fourth. The 1-1 lifted down the right field line, and it's fair. Burford rounding second. He's sent home from third. Carrillo into second base. Burford to the plate without a throw. The Oaks, they take a 5-3 lead as that ball curves right inside the first base bag from Austin Carrillo. And the right fielder had a long trek in Lewis as it curved right into that jut out section that I talked about a little bit that's on both sides of the field. The Oaks, 5. The Saints, 3. And that's where two-out hitting comes into play in a huge spot. Austin Carrillo comes up big, his first extra base hit of the season.
And like I was saying, that at bat from Burford was huge. Battled off, got a full count, then ended up walking. And like I said, the Oaks two-out hitting throughout the season. They've been phenomenal here today. Another example, Austin Carrillo with the two-run double for them. And, you know, it just makes it to show that you can get your first two batters out and still extend the lead by one run.
Anson Arroyo now at the plate. I mentioned it earlier in Austin Carrillo's at bat. He's no stranger to two out hitting. He watches the first ball go by him for a ball. Arroyo has been trying to work the opposite way from that left-handed batter's box. He slapped two singles in between the gap between shortstop and third. The left fielder is in. If a single goes out there, it's a play at the plate. As the 1-0 is cut through, a strike, 1-1. Cowden is the left fielder there. And I'm sure Austin Carrillo, a speedster in the outfield, a speedster on the base paths, if there is a ball that gets into the outfield, will probably be waved. The 1-1 misses the zone, a ball, the count 2-1.
And so far today, for the Saints, all right-handed pitchers. Only 3 left-handed pitchers on this roster, so a heavy amount of righties for the Saints. 4 left-handed pitchers on the roster.
The 2-1 misses the zone outside and off the plate. A ball, 3-1 the count to Anson Arroyo. I mentioned the 2 singles in the 3rd and the 4th inning, as well as a flyout in the 6th. That was crucial as well in this game as the bases were loaded with no down. The next batter in TJ Foreman grounded into a double play, and the Oaks were not able to scratch across a run. The 3-1 misses the zone, a ball, a walk for Anson Rose, and now there's 2 runners on for TJ Foreman.
Now batting for the Oaks.
And the first 2 batters of this inning, that was Robert Capozzi and JT Naviak. They both struck out swinging. Since then, the Oaks base runners have been batters have been successful. You know, Burford with the walk comes around to score on the double from Carrillo, and now another walk, and they're going to have a meeting at the mound now because the last 3 batters have gotten on.
Yeah, we see Aaron Milam going to have a talk to his pitcher, John Chomko. Chomko, as you mentioned, walked 2 batters in the last 3 and has given up a double right down that right field line, right inside of the first base bag.
And coming up to the plate, TJ Foreman, he's due for a hit today. He was batting .300 entering the game. Today, he's just not had his stuff. He's 0 for 4. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play in his last at bat. So he's really hungry right now for his first hit of the game. And what a better spot here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 runners on and 2 outs.
Now batting,
TJ Foreman,
number 11, TJ
someone who on the season is someone who has been driving the ball well. He has 8 singles on the season, all 8 of his hits. He would love to make it 9 here. A single most likely scores Carrillo from second. The first pitch into Foreman. Catches the zone for a strike. Foreman watches it go by. 0-1 is the count. The second baseman, Cobb, shaded close to the second base bag. So is Boning at shortstop. The left fielder a little bit in. The rest of the outfield playing standard. The 0-1 to Foreman. Cut through and missed. Elevated fastball. Foreman now down in the count, 0-2. He's seen 2 strike counts twice today. He struck out looking in the 3rd, and in the 1st, he grounded out to shortstop.
Also had a 2-strike count in the 6th inning where he grounded into that double play, but today, a lot of his whiffs have been under the ball.
The 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Willis able to keep it in front of him. The runners do not advance, but the count is 1-2. We saw it earlier in this inning. Reagan Burford bounced back from a 2-strike count where he was behind. That was 1-2. Now TJ Foreman trying to bounce back from a 2-strike count here. He was down 0-2. Now the 1-2 into Foreman. Lifted over the screen and foul into the bushes. You could hear it rustle through a few trees. It was a hard hit ball, just got over the screen. But luckily the bushes bracing any impact that it would have had to any patrons, and that is just wilderness back there.
A lot of beautiful trees around this ballpark.
The 1-2, caught on bounce to second base. Cobb, the throw to first is in time. Foreman grounds out, but not before the Oaks. They get one more back. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 5-3, the Oaks lead. 2 innings of work for the pitching staff. They're trying to get through it unscathed. We'll see who it is on the hill as we get back on the Caneo Oaks live stream. The bottom of the 8th inning, Evan Gray still on the mound for the Oaks. He's had 2 innings of work. This time he starts off the bottom of the 8th. His first pitch into Justin Torres misses low below the knees for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 into Torres. He looks at it and looks at a strike. Catches the top outside part of the zone, 1-1. Evan Gray, a typical reliever out of Arkansas. Someone who is seeing a high volume of pitch count thus far as Torres swings through a pitch in at the knees for a strike. 1-2. Evan Gray ahead in the count yet again. He has seen a multitude of 2-strike counts. 5 2-strike counts in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and a strikeout here in the 8th as he gets Torres swinging. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Evan Gray picks up his 4th strikeout of the day.
And speaking of Evan Gray, Ryan, it's time for our favorite time of the game. It's Guess That Player's Favorite Food, and right now we're going to do Evan Gray.
You know, he's an Arkansas man. I think, a little bit of some lobster mac and cheese. As the first pitch into Bo Willis, skied high, out of play. 0-1 is the count.
Lobster mac and cheese. What is lobster mac? I don't think I've ever had lobster mac and cheese before.
Oh, you're missing out. It's good.
You know, I mean, I might give you that. His favorite food is pasta, and, lobster mac and cheese is pasta.
The 0-1 fouled off back by Bo Willis. I feel like you have to give it to me on a technicality, but you know what? I don't want to take it for the record. We'll call that a push.
We'll call it a push. Yeah, I mean, I was 50-50 with that, but, I mean, technically, lobster mac and cheese is a pasta. So there you go. You guessed Evan Gray's favorite food.
I sort of guessed Evan Gray's favorite food. The 0-2 just misses the zone outside. A well-located pitch, but one that just misses the zone. Trying to expand the strike zone from Bo Willis. Willis, with plate discipline, does not offer.
Evan Gray, a little bit more traditional than Brian Perez.
The 1-2 in there for a strike. A strikeout looking Evan Gray, his 5th strikeout of the day.
And that was a heck of a pitch by Gray, but going back to what I was talking about, a little bit more generic than Brian Perez. Brian Perez, he liked the Bonsai Bowl. This time, that's pretty specific. Evan Gray, pasta. I mean, you got to be a little bit more specific with your favorite food, you think?
Well, I mean, Andrew Sharp's was steak, so
I think steak is a little bit more understandable than pasta because I feel like steak's a little bit less generic.
He's a card man. First pitch fouled straight back by Brandon Boning. Last time up, Boning, he struck out swinging. That was the first strikeout of the day for Evan Gray. Gray, he now has 5 strikeouts on the day as he sees a 2-out count here to Boning, the first strike. Now the 0-1. Catches the outside part of the plate. Evan Gray is living inside the strike zone here in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
0-2 the count. Brandon Boning is behind.
Evan Gray's just working through this inning, and, man, he's been impressive.
The 0-2. In there for a strike. Strike out looking. Evan Gray strikes out the side, and the Oaks are 3 outs away of escaping Pasadena. We will head to the top of the 9th where the Oaks try to add some insurance. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. The top of the ninth inning, the Oaks are trying to add insurance. They're up 5-3. Fino Amador checks into the game for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Amador, he comes in for John Chomko. The first pitch into Zach Gregory, elevated for a ball. The catcher in Willis did some contorting motion with his arm in order to stop that from going to the backstop. Didn't get out of his stance, but extendo armed that one. The 1-0. Off the plate for a ball. The count 2-0. John Chomko, his final line. He allowed 1 run in 3 innings of action, or excuse me, 1 run in 2 innings of action, and just 1 single hit. As this pitch into Gregory catches the knees for a strike. The Oaks didn't like it. Head coach Dave Solis not pleased with the call. He thought it was low.
Looked a little low to me as well, but nevertheless, 2-1 the count.
The 2-1 into Gregory. Low, misses the zone. 3-1. We heard someone from the Oaks dugout say good. I'm not sure if they're referring to the call by the home plate umpire, giving them one back, or Zach Gregory's take. The 3-1. Skied high and out of play down the left field side. The count is worked full. It is the 3rd time we've seen a full count for Zach Gregory on the day. He walked in the 3rd on a full count. He walked in the 5th, not on a full count, on 4 straight pitches. And then in the 7th, his last at bat, a full count, he flew out to right field. Amador looking in. The full count pitch, grounded right back up the middle. That is why Fino Amador does the PFPs, flashing the leather, throws on to first, and the first batter of the inning is retired for the Oaks.
And that was a heck of a snag right there by Amador. Went right back to him. It was a hard hit ball. Did just reach out his left hand and able to make the play. It was a heck of a play right there.
Brendan Bobo to the dish. His 5th time coming to the plate today. First pitch into him, misses the zone for a ball. Count 1-0. The last 2 times Brendan Bobo has stepped to the plate, he has struck out swinging. He does have a single in the 3rd and an RBI on that single. He also had an RBI on one of his strikeouts. Breaking ball in the dirt. Bobo offers the count 1-1.
Bobo swung at a pitch in the dirt the last time when he struck out. No, he's been reaching for those pitches. He loves to drive balls out of the park, but you know, he's really hungry as a hitter, and the last 2 at-bats, he struck out.
The 1-1. Bobo looks at a ball that bounces into the zone. The count 2-1. Fino Amador, we've seen him live low through his first few pitches here. The 2-1. Elevated outside, a ball. 3-1 is the count. Brendan Bobo, we know he's looking for a pitch down the heart of the plate. And now in a hitter's count, he's probably going to get one. The 3-1 into Bobo. Looks at a pitch. Catches the knees. It's a strike. The count is full. Brendan Bobo, the last time he saw a full count was in the 5th. It's when he struck out swinging.
And back-to-back batters with full counts for the Oaks here, as Bobo has a full count after Gregory.
The payoff pitch. Fought off foul. Grounded into the Saints dugout. The 3-2 will be done over again. Brendan Bobo, he's known as a power hitter, at least around these parts, but he has been known to also fight off some full counts and being behind in the count, especially with 2 strikes on the season. He's walked quite a bit. The payoff pitch. Fouled off and fought back. Bobo stays alive. Bobo on the season, he has 2 walks on the year as well as a hit by pitch. His on-base percentage, .600 headed into today. The full count again to Bobo. Amador shakes off his catcher, now nods his head. The pitch, breaking ball in the zone. Bobo strikes out looking. Fino Amador able to sit down the Oaks power hitter. 3 strikeouts on the day for Brendan Bobo. He makes way for Grant Smith. Smith so far on the day, 1 for 4. A strikeout in the 5th, a single in the 2nd, in which he came around to score. His last at-bat, he flew out to right field.
And coming into this game, Fino Amador, he only had 1 strikeout.
First pitch into Smith. Too far inside, brushes Smith back. A ball, the count, 1-0.
That came against the Ventura County Pirates. So far this season, he's pitched in 2 games.
The 1-0 count. Right back up the middle, Grant Smith. Put it back where it came from. He gets aboard. 2-strike hitting. It's been the name of the game for the Oaks so far today. And now there is a runner on first base. And Robert Capozzi heading to the dish.
And Capozzi here today hasn't had a hit yet, but he's consistently been one of the better hitters for the Oaks this season.
Capozzi coming into the day batting .500 on the year. Today, 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch to Capozzi. In at the knees for a strike, 0-1.
And Amador, he's pitched in 2 games, and each of the games he's allowed 1 hit. But since then, he hasn't allowed any runs and just the 1 hit in each game.
The 0-1 to Capozzi. Check swing. He does not go around the ball. Missed the zone for a ball. The count 1-1.
And right now with Grant Smith on first base, you don't think he's going to go. So Capozzi right now going to have to drive in Smith on maybe an extra base hit or a home run.
The goal for Capozzi, drive one into the gaps. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. Smith does go. The throw not in time. It gets away from Boning at shortstop. Smith slides into second with a stolen base.
And that fooled me because I didn't think that Smith was going to go with 2 outs here in the 9th. He does go. Mentioned his speed earlier. Not your typical speed from a third baseman. Does steal a base here. And now he puts himself in scoring position for the DH Capozzi.
And now it puts him in position. Any ball to the outfield, he's probably going to be sent home. The 2-1. Capozzi looks at, gets called a strike. The count is 2-2. Fino Amador 1 strike away from sending it to the home half of the inning, where the Saints are going to try to come back on the Oaks. He has to get past this batter and Robert Capozzi. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 balls. The pitch, grounded to second base. The first baseman fields it, throws on to first. Amador is there, a foot on the bag, and Capozzi is retired. The Oaks, they do not put up any runs in the inning on just 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. To the home half of the inning, the Oaks, they lead by 2. They're trying to close out this game. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream. The bottom of the ninth inning, the Oaks, they lead by 2. They're trying to close out this game. Clayton Rickerman on the hill. He takes over for Evan Gray. Evan Gray's final line: 3 innings pitched, no hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The first pitch, Rickerman throws in to Jackson Cobb, is in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count.
Rickerman, a young man out of Mission Hills area, went to Alameda High School.
The 0-1, cut on and driven to right center field. It's deep. Looking up is Foreman at the wall, and it is a home run. Jackson Cobb cuts into the deficit. It is now a 5-4 ball game. The Oaks, they're trying to hold on now.
That was an absolute bomb from Jackson Cobb right there. And, you know, today it's just been his night. He walked twice, had a single in the 4th, and now a home run here. The second baseman is on fire. His last time he played, that was against the Riptide 2 days ago. And in that game, he had a 2-for-4 performance with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Today, he keeps up the hot momentum, going 2 for 2, and has reached base all 4 times he's made the plate.
And now the insurance run in the 8th for the Oaks, ever more important. Blake Marsh to the dish, fouls the first pitch back behind the screen. The count is 0-1. Clayton Rickerman now trying to get out of a 1 earned run performance without any more damage done. The 0-1, low, misses the zone, a ball. Clayton Rickerman out of Cal Lutheran. We talked to him before the game. It's really our first time that we've been able to introduce ourselves to Clay Rickerman. He, a natural competitor. 1-1, lined into right center. It's going to drop. Foreman fields it. A single for Blake Marsh. And now the tying run on first. The winning run heads to the plate, and that winning run is Connor Bradshaw. Bradshaw in this game doubled, and even more importantly in the 3rd inning, hit a 1-run solo shot to lead off the 3rd.
And that hit was the first one in 5 games for Brandon Marsh. Got to think he's happy finally breaking the cold streak. The lefty first baseman finally gets on board.
Pick off over towards first. Back in safely is Marsh. Rickerman, he talked to us about his pitch selection, and he listed just about every single pitch that there was in the book, including a splitter. The first pitch to Bradshaw. Catches the knees for a strike. The count 0-1. Rickerman catches the zone. He had an 0-1 count to Jackson Cobb just 2 batters earlier, and he put one over the fence in right. Blake Marsh drove one into right center for a single. No one down in the inning. Rickerman to the plate. Half swing lifted. Naviak tracking back, makes the catch at shortstop. A weird play that Naviak able to get. First out of the inning for Rickerman, and now a double play is in order to end the game for Drew Cowley. He grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd. He has also doubled in the 5th, reached base on an error in the 1st, and in his last at-bat, flew out to left field. A 5-4 ball game, 1 out, pickoff over to Marsh. He's back in safely at first.
And Cowley coming into this game was batting .389. He's one of the better hitters for the Saints.
He's batting in the 2-hole. First pitch to him, lined hard down the line, and it's going to drop in fair territory. Marsh digging for 3rd. He's going to be sent home. Digging for 3rd is Cowley. Now they're held up, both of them. Arose, throw down to 2nd, and Cowley back into 2nd base in time. The throw could not be handled by Naviak at 2nd base. So now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 down in the inning. The go-ahead run at 2nd, the tying run at 3rd, just 90 feet from home, and a high-leverage situation for Clayton Rickerman, the closer at Cal Lutheran University, now trying to not have a blown save on his resume in his first chance for the Oaks.
And right there, that run should have came around to score. Marsh, he slipped as he was coming around third, got held up. The runner, Callie, tried to go to third. He was halfway there, then had to turn back to second because Marsh had slipped. And lucky that he got back safely to second because the throw wasn't that great to Naviak. But still now, 2 runners in scoring position. The winning run is now 180 feet away, and the tying run's 90 feet away.
Rickerman, the first pitch into Lewis, skied and flared into shallow left field. Smith going back, makes the grab. A great play by Grant Smith over his head. Wow, I can't believe it. That's the hardest play in baseball. A play that is a ball hard hit or high hit right over your head, straight back, and Grant Smith makes the basket catch. 2 down in the inning, and now that is a huge out for the Oaks.
And that was a heck of a play by Smith. I didn't know that he was going to make that play. He just kept running back. I was like, wow, this could drop for a single. But, man, Smith reaches out his glove at the last second. Heck of a play right there. That's probably the best play I've seen all night.
That is without a doubt the best play that I've seen all night long. And now it's Josh Cowden. First pitch into him. Bounces in a ball. The 1-0 is the count. Cowden so far today. Flied out in his last at-bat. Doubled in the 5th. Flied out in the 3rd. Struck out in the 1st. So he's 1 for 4 on the day. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. The Oaks, they lead 5-4. 2 outs in the inning. The 1-0. Missed the zone. A ball. 2-0 the count. Rickerman goes behind. We see from the Saints dugouts, or we hear rather, their dugout saying, trust the hands. Let them fly.
Surprisingly, nobody in the Saints dugout wearing the rally cap.
Cowden, the 2-0, lifted, foul down the left field line. 2-1 is the count. Rickerman, we talked to him. He said, I'm a boring competitor. I'd rather go D3 and compete than go D2 or D1 and be on a losing team. Right now, he's getting all the competition that he wants with the Oaks.
Huge competitor, like you said. That's why he chose Cal Lutheran. Cal Lutheran consistently competing for a D3 national championship.
The 2-1, below the knees, a ball, a 3-1 count to Josh Cowden. If Cowden gets aboard with a walk, the bat would be passed to Justin Torres, who is 0 for 4 on the day. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 runners in scoring position. The 3-1 bounces in, and the bases are loaded. And it's just a reset for Clayton Rickerman. That runner does not matter. The winning run is at second. The tying run is at first. For Rickerman, you can go down if you felt like you were behind in the count. That walk, not crucial, but now first base is not open. Justin Torres grounded out to first in the first inning. Flew out on the infield in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th and the 8th. Bases loaded in a 1-run game. First pitch outside for a ball to Justin Torres.
And right there, Rickerman trying to go with the off-speed pitch outside. Misses the zone. Right now, really just focused on getting this one out.
And that's all that matters for the Oaks and Rickerman, the man at the plate. The 1-0, lifted in the air to left. Gregory underneath it, makes the catch, and the Oaks win 5-4 in a nail-biter of a ball game. Clayton Rickerman, he gets the save. The Oaks, they take their first contest against Arroyo Seco, and they improve to 2-1 in CCL play, 5-1 on the season for Conejo.
And I don't know about you, Ryan, but I was pretty nervous right there. You know, getting the bases loaded, especially having 2 runners on in scoring position, runners on second and third with only 1 out, and you just got to look to that great play by Grant Smith right there, running down the left field line, reaching out his glove as the ball's hit over his head. He makes the play, and it caught 2 outs for them. Never mind the walk to Cowden because, you know, Torres flies out, but heck of a play by Grant Smith, and that really stood out. That changed the game.
Grant Smith, without a doubt, the play of the game, but the player of the game is Evan Gray. Evan Gray came in the 6th inning, gave 3 shutout innings, only allowed 2 base runners and 6 strikeouts, and the job by Clayton Rickerman after giving up a leadoff home run, after giving up 2 hits to have runners on second and third with just 1 down in the inning, the ability to bounce back and get back in the ball game, not blow the save for Clayton Rickerman. That is what is incredibly impressive. We have some offensive performers as well that played very well for the Oaks. It was more spread out than we've seen. Anson Arroyo, he got aboard 3 times today, singled in the 3rd. He came around to score an RBI single in the 4th, and then in the 8th, he got aboard with a walk. That is someone who got aboard 3 times. We also saw Austin Carrillo get aboard 3 times. He got on with an error in the 4th, a single in the 6th, and a double in the 8th. That double ended up scoring Reagan Burford. That was a big-time hit, the one that was ultimately the deciding run. Knight, who impressed you the most out of this game?
Well, I mean, obviously Evan Gray, like you said, player of the game, but also another name you didn't mention offensively, Reagan Burford. He's still hot today. He had a single and a double in this game, also walking, and he was that run in the 8th inning, like you said, that mattered the most. So Burford had an impressive performance, and you know, it was just an all spread out offensive game. It was a gritty game. It was a hard fought game, but the Oaks won 5-4, and man, you know, it's going to be a short bus drive back, about an hour or so, but you got to think the Oaks are very happy to escape here with a win.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for us today. We will be back again tomorrow. We're back at home again tomorrow as we are going to play against the Santa Barbara Foresters for the 2nd time of the season. Coming off a loss against the Foresters, it's a big-time game. Tune in with us tomorrow on the Caneo Oaks live stream. Thanks for watching.